everyone. In today's lecture, we're going to talk about the law school decision, part 1. In the first part of the lecture, we're going to talk about why making an informed decision about going to law school is so important. Then we will talk about common reasons behind why many people decide to go to law school, and why some of these reasons are perhaps not the best reasons for deciding to go. Then, in the conclusion, we'll go back over some of the main points. In this part of the course, I'm going to tell you why the law school decision is so important. In giving you all of this information, I'm not attempting to scare you, but being armed with all of this information will mean you can make an informed decision about going to law school and avoid any surprises popping up to make you reconsider your choice once you've enrolled. There are several reasons why you want to make an informed decision about law school. First, law school is 3 years long, making it a big time investment. If you discover a semester or two into law school that you made a bad choice, and that you should have enrolled in another graduate program or chosen a different career path, then you're already 6 to 9 months behind in pursuing other plans. After the first or second semester, many students throughout the country realize that either they don't like law school, they don't want to become an attorney, or both. This thought is sometimes triggered by receiving bad grades, but this realization also happens because students see the realities of what law school is like, and to a very limited extent, what being an attorney is like. Many law students figure that because they've already invested 1 or 2 semesters worth of time, they may as well continue despite not liking law school or not wanting to become an attorney. They then go on to lead unfulfilling careers because they didn't know what law school or what being a lawyer was like before they enrolled. By making an informed decision about law school, you can mitigate against losing any time. Second, law school is expensive. Students often have over $100,000 worth of loans after graduation. Many students also have undergraduate loans, which combine with law school loans, putting students in over $150,000 to $200,000 worth of debt. The third reason is because of employment statistics. The legal market is still recovering from the recession. There is a lot of competition for many qualified students for a few legal jobs. Law school is not the golden ticket to having lots of money. Realizing that the odds are stacked against you for obtaining a job which will allow you to pay off your loans is sobering, but it also helps you to focus your decision about whether to go to law school. Finally, you will need to be able to articulate during employment interviews why you decided to go to law school and how you decided to go. By using the steps that I will tell you in a little bit, you'll actually be able to craft a great answer to this question before you've even begun law school. Next, we're going to talk about common reasons behind why people decide to go to law school. When I've talked to people who are about to go to law school, I've always asked them, why do you want to go? And here's some of the most common answers that I've heard. The first is, I love the law. I've always found this to be an odd answer because loving the law is such an abstract phrase. What is the law and what about it do these people love? I'm not sure, and I'm not sure that many people who give this answer know either. The answer is usually based on a vague preconception of what being a lawyer is like from TV shows. However, after following the 5-step guide, you will be able to back up this answer with some solid examples of what about the law it is that you like. The next one is, all lawyers make great money and I want to be rich. The fact is, many lawyers make between $50,000 and $70,000 a year, which is a livable salary. However, as we've already talked about, many students have to take into account student loan repayment, and they also sometimes have families to support. So unless you are one of the people who gets a big law job paying the standard $135,000 to $160,000 a year for first years, you will likely be making a good salary, but not in line with the fantasies many people have about being a lawyer. The next is, I want to work in the business side of a corporation. Getting a law degree is not the best way to work on the business side of a corporation. If this is what you want, you'd be better off getting a BA in finance, economics, or business administration, or going into an MBA program. The next is, I want to be a politician. While it's true that many politicians went to law school, they were also practicing attorneys before going into politics, and as such, would have a happy time being an attorney too. So, you should go to law school wanting to be an attorney first and foremost, and a politician second, in case the political life does not work out. Next is, I want to change the world and save people by being a human trafficking or human rights attorney. I mention these two jobs in particular because working to save and protect people as a lawyer is possible through public interest work, such as working in civil rights, immigration, and the like. However, human trafficking and human rights lawyer jobs, like the one George Clooney's wife, Amal Clooney, has, are called unicorn jobs. This is because they are very few and far between, and as such, these jobs tend to go to people from top programs and who also have political connections. So going into law school with these two jobs in mind may be a false start, and you should have many backups in the event that you aren't able to get one of these jobs. The next is, I want to be an international law attorney because I want to travel. Once again, these are somewhat unicorn jobs, but more specifically, many lawyers do not travel for work internationally in particular. Large law firms have offices in different cities internationally, and so all they need to do is have a conference call with that office in order to communicate. If any traveling does happen, like needing to go to London or Paris, the traveling attorney will usually only be working the whole time and not have time for leisurely activities, and then they will head back to the home office. The next reason is, my college major cannot get me a job, and I have no idea what to do because I majored in history, philosophy, political science, government, English, or criminal justice. This was the situation I was in, and what somewhat prompted me to explore law school. However, I did not make the decision based off of this reason. I researched my decision in depth and then decided to go because I knew I'd like law school and being a lawyer. However, going to law school uninformed and solely because you have nothing else to do is not a good reason to go to law school. The final reason is my parents or friends or significant other said I would be a great lawyer. While this may be true, this is just someone else making the decision for you. You need to be the one making this decision. So, what should be the number one reason for going to law school? The number one reason is to become an attorney. So, in conclusion, it's important to make an informed decision about going to law school because of all the reasons that we've previously mentioned. If the reason for law school fits into any of the reasons that we've gone over, you should definitely follow the 5 steps that we're going to cover in the next lesson. And that lesson is coming up next.